If you have submitted 50, 100, or even more applications and received almost no interviews, the answer may not be to submit another 100 applications. Your results are information. They can tell you where your job search system is breaking down. Think of the search as a funnel. At the top are applications, then come responses or recruiter screens, interviews, and finally offers. If very little is moving through the funnel, we need to inspect the stage where it gets stuck. Meet Maya. She has sent 50 applications, received 2 recruiter screens, reached 0 interviews, and received 0 offers. That means her application to screen rate is 2 divided by 50, or 4%. Her screen to interview rate is 0 divided by 2, or 0%. Those numbers do not prove one single cause, and they do not predict her future. But they do suggest a useful first question. Is Maya targeting the right roles? And is her resume making the connection obvious? We will use her example to diagnose 7 common problems. The goal is not blind volume or perfection. It is a repeatable process. Aim at better matches, communicate your value clearly, and measure what happens next. The first possibility is that you are applying to the wrong jobs. Mass applying to anything with an attractive salary or impressive title feels productive, but a title alone does not make a role a reasonable match. Separate core requirements from preferred qualifications. You do not need every preferred qualification. Employers often describe an ideal candidate, not a person who must check every box. But there should be a believable connection between what you have done, what you can do, and what the job actually requires. Maya is considering a customer support coordinator role. The posting emphasizes customer communication, ticketing software, accurate data entry, and teamwork. Maya has 18 months of retail experience. She has used a point-of-sale system, handled about 40 customers per shift, trained 2 new coworkers, and maintained accurate transactions. That is not identical to the job, but it is a reasonable bridge. Now compare that with applying for a senior software engineer position simply because the salary is attractive. If the core work requires years of programming experience and Maya has none, that is not a small preferred qualification gap. It is a mismatch. Before applying, ask, can I point to real experience that connects to most of the core work? If not, save your time for a stronger target. Better targeting gives your resume a fair chance to be understood. Even when the target is reasonable, a generic resume can make you look less relevant than you are. If every employer receives exactly the same document, the important connection may be buried under information that belongs to a different kind of job. Start with a small sample of relevant postings. Not every posting on the internet. Look for recurring skills, responsibilities, tools, and terminology. In Maya's sample postings, customer communication, accurate records, ticketing systems, and teamwork keep appearing. She should not copy phrases mechanically, but she can make genuine matching experience easier to find. For example, Maya can emphasize that she handled customer questions, used a point-of-sale system, maintained accurate transactions, and trained coworkers. She can describe the software experience she truly has. She should not write that she used a ticketing platform if she did not. Tailoring means choosing emphasis and clear language. It does not mean lying, inflating a title, or adding skills someone does not have. A practical method is to keep a master resume with all accurate experience, then create a focused version for each job family. Adjust the summary, skills emphasis, and order of relevant bullets. You are not rebuilding your identity for every application. You are helping the employer see the most relevant part first. The test is simple. After reading the first third of the resume, would a recruiter understand why this person could help in this role? A resume can also fail because it lists responsibilities without showing what you actually contributed. Responsible for helping customers tells us almost nothing. It does not show scale, action, or the result of your work. Maya can make the same experience more useful by writing assisted 40 or more customers per shift, resolved questions, and maintained accurate transactions. The arithmetic here is straightforward. 40 or more means the scope was at least 40 customers in one shift. It is not pretending that every shift had exactly 40 customers. Notice what changed. The stronger bullet uses a specific action, assisted. It gives scope. 40 or more customers per shift. It adds a second action, resolved questions, and describes a quality standard, accurate transactions. It helps the reader imagine Maya doing work that relates to customer support. Numbers are valuable when they are truthful and available. But every bullet does not need a metric. You can show value with specific actions, the size or type of work, improvements, complexity, tools, or outcomes. Helped with reports is weak. Compiled weekly inventory reports and flagged discrepancies for the store manager is more concrete, even without a number. A useful revision question is, what did I do, for whom, at what scope, and what became better, faster, clearer, or more accurate? Do not invent results. Instead, replace vague verbs with evidence you can stand behind. You can have relevant experience and still lose attention if the resume is difficult to scan. Recruiters often begin with a quick pass. That does not mean they read carelessly. It means the document must make the right information visible quickly. Common problems include overly complicated formatting, excessive text, unclear section labels, irrelevant information, and decorative elements that compete with the content. A beautiful design is not useful if the reader has to hunt for your job title, recent experience, or matching skills. Compare two versions of Maya's resume. The first uses several columns, dense paragraphs, tiny text, and unrelated details. Her point-of-sale experience and customer-facing work are technically present, but hard to locate. The second uses a simple professional structure, clear contact information, a focused summary, skills that match the target, and reverse chronological experience with consistent bullets. Readability is the priority. Use headings that explain themselves. Keep spacing consistent. Remove information that does not help with this target role. Put the most relevant qualifications where the eye naturally lands, and proofread for alignment, dates, and repeated formatting. Simple does not mean bland. It means the design supports the message instead of becoming another obstacle. If a reader can identify your target, relevant experience, and evidence in seconds, your qualifications have a better chance to be considered. Application volume does matter. You need enough appropriate opportunities for patterns to appear. But volume cannot be the entire strategy. 100 poorly matched applications may produce less useful information than a smaller batch of well-targeted ones. Maya's efficient process can include job alerts for 1 to 3 target titles, a quick match check before applying, a focused resume version, and a tracking sheet. She can also use company career pages, recruiters, networking conversations, referrals, and an appropriate follow-up when one makes sense. These channels do not replace qualifications, and none guarantees a response. They simply give her more than one path into the market. The goal is not to spend an hour customizing every application. It is also not to click submit blindly for an entire afternoon. Build repeatable decisions. For example, spend a few minutes checking core fit, use a prepared resume base, adjust the most relevant summary and bullets, record the date and source, then move on. In a tracker, Maya might record the role, company, job family, match notes, resume version, source, date, response, and next step. After a batch, she can compare results instead of relying on memory. A job search becomes more manageable when each application is both a real opportunity and a small measurement. You are not chasing a number, you are testing and improving a process. Now diagnose the funnel instead of guessing. The stages are applications, responses or screens, interviews, final interviews, and offers. If you get almost no responses, first review targeting and resume quality. Are the roles truly connected to your experience? Are the relevant skills easy to see? If you get recruiter screens but rarely progress to interviews, review how you communicate your experience, expectations, and fit. Practice explaining your examples clearly and honestly. If you regularly interview but do not receive offers, interview preparation may deserve more attention. Your examples, research, questions, and follow-through. These are diagnostic signals, not absolute rules. Hiring conditions, competition, timing, and factors outside your control also matter. The point is to use the pattern as a prompt for the next experiment. Here is a practical plan for this week. Choose 1 to 3 target job titles. Review 10 relevant job descriptions. Identify recurring requirements. Update your resume to emphasize genuine, relevant experience. Improve weak bullets by adding specific actions, scope, improvements, or outcomes. Apply to a smaller batch of strongly matched jobs. Track each application and its result. Then review the results and adjust the weakest part of the funnel. If you want additional support, CareerLift HQ can help with resumes, interviews, salary negotiation, and managing your job search. It is a resource, not a promise of interviews, employment, or higher pay. Stop guessing where your job search is going wrong. Find the bottleneck, fix it, and keep moving forward. CareerLift HQ, land better jobs and earn bigger paychecks.